Hi BookTube, I'm here with my second video on Cloud Atlas. This is going to be a rather shorter video, and I just wanted to discuss some of the philosophical aspects of the novel. If you want a summary and discussion of themes, I'll refer you to my other video. I'll put a link to that in the description bar. So basically, this novel, I like to call it a fictional exploration of a philosophical concept. When I was looking up other reviews and stuff, I stumbled across this article that explained how it more concentrated on the movie and how it incorporated the philosophy of this guy called Ken Wilber. And I found the article was a good introduction to it, but I found that I was looking for more information. So I looked up this Ken Wilber, and I thought I'd do a video kind of incorporating his philosophy into the actual book. I'll put a link to that article down below, as well as some other readings on Ken Wilber there. So basically, I'll just give a quick introduction to Ken Wilber and his theory of everything. So this is a integral theory where he amalgamates a diverse range of theories into a single construct. The basic idea is that everything, and not just physical things, but ideas and politics and philosophy and, science, everything is both individual and autonomous, but also part of a larger collective or a larger society. And this is what he refers to as holons. And it's not possible to progress without a holon, simultaneously being a part of a larger collective and surpassing that larger something. Or as he says, and I'm going to read this, the important point is simply that each new and emergent interior holon transcends but includes and thus operates upon the information presented by its junior holons, and thus it fashions something novel in the ongoing cognitive or interior stream. So I think we really see this in Cloud Atlas, in that all characters are kind of interconnected, and each story is built on top of the other. So the individual characters are actually propelled forward by the actions of previous characters in some fashion. So for example, in the furthest story, I guess in the future, we have this character named Marinum, and she's kind of the end result of all these stories. So for example, just from little things, she comes in on a ship just like Ewing does in the first story. She's the one who has the comet birthmark, not one of the main characters. She has Sonmi's Orison interview, and she really just altogether seems to possess the necessary knowledge of her predecessors in order to save Zachary and save humanity. Another aspect of Wilber's philosophy has to do with the idea of mirroring, which is also really seen in the structure of Cloud Atlas, which tells the stories in one order. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we get the full story in 6. And then it goes backwards again from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's called a chiastic structure. But in regards to Wilber's philosophy, he argues that holons are seen in 4 different quadrants, which kind of mirror each other. And I'll insert a picture here to kind of show you. So each quadrant is complementary. So first we have the interior individual, the I, or people's individual experiences. Then we have the interior plural, which is the we, or the collective experience. Then we have number 3, the exterior individual, which is the it. It's an observation of behavior without internal experience. And lastly, we have the exterior plural, which is the outside perspective of society. And everything is comprised of these 4 different aspects. I think we really see this in Cloud Atlas, and I'll kind of use Sonmi's story to talk about this. So for example, we get the interior individual when we see Sonmi's self-reflections, and then we see in her interactions with Una and Wing, that shows us the interior plural, because she's engaging with the we, you know, her kind of group of people, her society of people. And then we see the exterior individual while she's being studied and interviewed. And lastly, the exterior plural is kind of this meta concept that we see in a lot of postmodern literature, where it's us as a reader observing a society. We're completely detached and we're looking at it like this. You know, actually, like in a book, kind of thing. So this whole idea of being both individual and a part of something is actually, I think, the main theme of the book. And Mitchell uses this philosophy to impart certain messages, especially about how we have to respect the individual that makes up our larger society and respect their humanity, because, you know, they make up our society. They reflect who we are. So we see that in a lot of the slavery, is that, like, we look back and those individuals who are slaves are kind of more integral to the society than the slavers, for example. And I think the book talks a lot about how much individuals can have an impact on society, even if they don't feel like they're a part of it at first, because actually they are. You are a part of society. You can't take yourself away from that. And, you know, they do so by surpassing the dehumanizing principles. So in every aspect we have characters triumphing over dehumanization of certain things, of people, of ideas, of technology and all this. And I can go on and on, but I'm going to stop here. So if you want more information on Wilbur's philosophy, I'll include some links in the description bar. So let me know what you thought about, you know, the philosophical elements here, if you believe Ken Wilber's philosophy. What other philosophical aspects have you seen in Cloud Atlas? And remember to keep on reading.